Okay, back here again with Colton. This is our second of a 5-lesson series. Last week we worked on putting, and this week we're going to work on the short game. Not just chipping. A lot of people think the short game is really just hitting chip shots. And that's not at all what it is. You want to have an arsenal of shots when you're around the green, so you can have the confidence to know that you've selected the proper shot for that situation. Where we're going to start here is actually putting from off the green. Jack Nicklaus said one of the best things Arnold Palmer ever told him was, if you're 5 to 10 feet off the green, just putt it. Okay? 10 times out of 10, you're going to get that ball on the green. You cannot say that with a wedge, especially most amateur players. They're going to take their 60 degree or their 56 degree and they're going to blade it right over the green. And they're going to be scared to hit any chip shot after that. So, play the numbers game. This is a more consistent option. So we're going to work on here just a little bit briefly. We're just going to hit some putts from off the green. Go ahead, Colt. Keeping a similar philosophy to what we were working on last week, where we're going to let our feet kind of dictate how big of a putting stroke we want to take. So coming through a little bit of a fringe, I'd say spread your feet out just a little bit more. That's going to give you that little bit more momentum to get through that fringe grass. Nice. Any putt of any significant length, you're just trying to get it inside your circle. So Colton's doing that really well. We're going to get all of these putts up and down. See here, very consistent. This is a very consistent option for your short game. Okay, when you're 5 to 10 feet off the green, just go ahead and putt it. You're going to make a lot more. Your next shot's going to be a lot closer to the hole than if you're trying to hit chip shots from here. It's also going to make your practice more efficient. You practice this for 5 or 10 minutes, you'll be really good. You can practice with a wedge for hours, days, weeks, months, years, and not be very good. I've seen it. Make your practice time more efficient. Do things like this, give yourself an arsenal of shots from around the green. All right, the second shot we're going to work on here from around the green is the bump and run. I think it was most popularly played with like a 7-iron until they came out with hybrids. And this is the most versatile club in your bag, this hybrid. It's great from out of the rough, great for hitting longer shots, getting really consistent with it. What most people don't know about the hybrid is you can use it from around the green as well. Again, it's a really consistent option. If you bring your 60 degree out right here, you could blade it, you could chunk it. You're not going to have those options with this club. It's going to be a lot more consistent. You'll get your ball on the green a lot more often. You get it closer to the hole a lot more often, and that's the whole point. Okay, so we're going to hit, again, just 5 balls. Get a feel for this. Really easy to practice this shot. We're making our practice more efficient, and we're going to make our game better from around the green. Hit him to that one. Go ahead. Perfect. 5 shots, all 5 on the green. Those were all chip shots. You'd be pretty happy with that, okay? So your proximity to the hole is going to get better using this shot as well. So now we've got a shot that's further from the green, okay? We're not in the fringe, we're in the rough. We're not 5 to 10 feet from the hole, we're about 30. Okay, I'm not going to putt this ball. I don't really want to use the bump and run. I've got to get it through this rough grass. So now we're going to learn how to utilize our wedge. When you're using your wedge, you know, most people get in trouble because they keep their weight back here and they try and help the ball up in the air. That's the last thing you want to do. You do not need to help this ball up in the air. Let the club work. It's got 60 degrees of loft on it. It was built to get the ball up in the air. Okay? So we're going to make sure that our weight is favoring that forward leg. Phil Mickelson hits a lot of shots in practice like this. 100% of his weight is on that left foot, so he can make sure that he's got his stroke down and he never leans too far back when hitting these chip shots. So do that. That's a really good practice drill. Stand here, take some swings, one-footed if you struggle keeping your weight forward in your chip shots. Another thing people do is they take the club way too far back and they stop right here and they hit at the ball. The easiest way to think about this is, I give the example of cornhole. The game, you throw bean bags at the board, it's got the hole in it, right? Very similar to golf. So the motion is very similar as well. You take the ball back and you get through. If I put a golf club in my hand and did that again, it's going to look very similar. Back, through, put a club in my hand. Chip shot, back, through, back, through. Think about throwing the ball toward the hole, okay? The more cornhole you play, you should be a really good short game player. It's the exact same motion with your right hand, okay? So we'll set up to these. We'll hit a couple of those, just back and through. Really focusing on keeping our weight forward, right? We're going to play this ball back in the stance. We're going to have our hands slightly in front of it. That's going to automatically kick your weight forward. Ball back, hands forward, weight forward. That's going to be your standard chip shot, okay? 90% of the time, that's the shot you're going to use. Ball back, hands forward, weight forward. If you need to loft it up in the air a little bit more, just go ahead and play it off the front foot. Phil Mickelson will tell you to never play a chip shot in the middle. You either play it back, you play it forward, okay? You're going to use the bounce better that way. So if you need to get it up in the air, just play it forward. I still want my hands forward, and I still want my weight forward. That shot's going to go much higher. Okay? You're using the golf club to get it up in the air. Don't help it yourself. So Colton's going to go ahead and hit a few chip shots here. We're going to hit 4 or 5 off the back foot. Ball back, hands forward, weight forward. We're going to hit a few off the front foot using that different position. So again, different shots in our arsenal for around the green here. Good, that's perfect. He's hit 5 or 6 shots really close to the hole. He can really trust this shot. I know Colton's hit this a lot. Okay, he likes playing it back in his stance. So we're going to work a little bit more here on that forward ball position. Really getting your hands comfortable with contacting the ground forward in your stance as opposed to back in your stance. So we're going to grab a few more balls here. We're just going to work on using the bounce, letting that get all the way to the ground, and using the club to get the ball up in the air. tell Colton's been working on his game a lot. His feel is really good, okay? And these are the shots that you've got to work on. Save those strokes from around the green. You can notice there when the ball position went forward, how much higher that launch angle was, okay? So now we've covered most of your standard shots from around the green. Putt it from 5 to 10 feet. Bump and run with the hybrid, 20 to 30 feet. Get in the rough, learn how to utilize your wedge a little bit better. Use those couple setup positions to help you use your wedge a little bit better. Now we're in the bunker. We're going to work on things a little bit here before we wrap up. PGA Tour pros will tell you greenside bunker shots are the easiest shot in golf. Reason being, you're not trying to hit the golf ball. So, in your practice, you should do some practice. You don't even need a golf ball. This is the easiest shot in golf to practice as well. So what we've got set up here is we've got our line set up. Okay? Colton's going to set up to this line and see if he can contact the sand or bottom out in the exact same place every time. If you can't do that, there's no sense in hitting bunker shots with a real ball. Until you can set up on your line, put it in the position you want it, and contact the sand there every time, no sense in hitting bunker shots with a real ball. You're wasting time. Again, let's get more efficient here. So go ahead and set in here, Colton. Start on that side. Put the line a little bit forward in your stance, okay? And all you're trying to do is contact that sand right there. Scoot back a little bit. When you start there, work your way down the line. Okay? Colton hit a little bit behind the line there, right? We want to see that club start to contact the sand a little bit further forward. Still a little bit back in the stance. Usually, that's because the weight favors the back foot. Just like in chipping, go ahead and move that ball position forward, move your weight forward. Favor that left foot as you're setting up for your bunker shot. Better. We're getting closer to the line there. One more here, Colt. Really favor that left side. Right on the line. That's perfect. So now we can move in to our next drill. We've got our line set up again here. Since we know we can hit that line, we've put some balls there. We're going to try and explode these balls out of the bunker. Again, you're not trying to hit the ball. You're trying to use the sand to explode that ball out of the bunker. Nice open club face. It's really all you got to do. Keep that weight forward. Let that sand take the ball out of the bunker. Perfect. Right on his line. Ball came out just how he wanted. Keep that weight forward. Didn't quite catch enough sand there. We can see that by where we started to hit. A little bit too close to the golf ball. Caught it a little thin. Really nice there. A little thin there, but that's okay. Use your line. See if you can set that line up and contact that position every time. Now we've got 5 balls set up at random. This is another drill. You can't do this on the golf course, but you can do it here to practice. Put a little line behind it, just to remind yourself where you want to hit it. This is how you should visualize the golf ball when you're out on the golf course. Just visualize your little line right behind it. Try and contact the sand right there. Pop it out every time. Yeah, well, sure. Might hit the ball. Keep that weight forward. Beautiful bunker shot right there. Let's go ahead and hit a couple more. Couple more. hit some really good bunker shots there. Again, efficiency in your practice is something that you should strive for. We're in this bunker for 5 minutes, did 3 separate drills. By the time he was done, he almost made a few, okay? Hitting really good bunker shots. It doesn't take a lot of time to get better. You just have to practice the right way and practice the right things. Once you can do that, your game's gonna get a lot more efficient. You can take a lot less strokes out on the golf course. Okay, so that wraps it up for the second segment in our lesson series here. Jeremy Curry, Colton Donahue, working on your short game today. Remember, just off the green, go ahead and putt it. A little bit further back, bump and run with the hybrid. It's easy. From there, learn how to utilize your wedge, okay? Standard chip shot, ball back, hands forward, weight forward. If you need to get it up in the air, play it forward in your stance. Work on a few things from the bunker, and you'll have a very nice arsenal of shots to choose from around the green.